everyone. Welcome to the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. I'm Ava Gaudette here at Go Local Live. It is Pride Week, as you know, so my arts and entertainment segment today is going to be based all on performers who will be performing this weekend at Rhode Island PrideFest. And behind me, a face you may recognize. This is Frenchie Davis. Hey, Frenchie, how are you?
Hey, girl, how are you?
I'm doing well. So Frenchie, as you may know, star of The Voice on NBC, American Idol many eons ago, Broadway, Ain't Misbehaving National Tour, Dreamgirls, film and television, and we are so lucky that you're going to be here in Providence performing at the official pre-Pride party, that's a mouthful,
Yes.
Friday night. We're so excited.
I'm so excited. I love Providence. I first sang in the Providence Pride Festival probably about almost 10 years ago.
Wow.
It's been a while since I've been back, so I'm really excited to come back. I'm really looking forward to it. What I love about Providence is how the whole city kind of shuts down for the Pride Festival. And it's like, Pride, it's a celebration of us, of the LGBT community.
Mm-hmm.
But, at the end of the day, we're all, fighting for equality. And, so it's a beautiful thing that the non-LGBT people in the Providence community really kind of support the whole thing, and all the restaurants and bars participate. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Providence has changed quite a bit in 10 years. I mean, it's even cooler, even more developed, more great restaurants, more great bars. And you're right, it's a big deal here, and everyone loves to participate in this event. And you're right, it's really inclusive, and it's a really good time. So I think, people definitely want to join in the celebration.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, this is a really cool thing for you. I know that you participate in a lot of different Pride festivities. I know you've done it in Chicago and New York, and obviously here in Providence. And and this is something you stand for. I mean, anyone who follows you on social media knows you're incredibly outspoken. You're an activist. This is something that you really believe in. So I know that your activism actually extends much further than just social media. You are really participating in your community. Tell us a little bit about the projects that you've been working on with those kinds of things.
Well, late last year, I joined the National Advisory Board for Human Rights Campaigns, Historically Black Colleges and Universities Project. And I'm really excited about that, just because I'm such an advocate for not only the LGBT community, but for Black people and people of color. And so this National Advisory Board allows me to advocate for both groups simultaneously. And I speak often about the intersection of Blackness and queerness and womanness and all of these different identities that I associate with that have intersected. And so it's really a beautiful thing, because we're working with college students. We're doing a lot of work to eliminate homophobia on college campuses, and to address racial insensitivities that exist in the LGBT community as well. And so it's been a wonderful experience. I will be joining NYU at their student LGBT center and doing some work with the students there starting in the fall semester. So it's been really exciting, because my other passion outside of performing and being an activist is education. And so I'm just excited to be able to do this work in an educational setting on college campuses, because I really feel like young people, they are the future. And if we can play an active role in helping to shape how they view diversity, then we can cut out bigotry at the root.
Quick little technical thing. I'm getting asked if you can turn your phone sideways so we can get a better view on. Yeah, there you go. Awesome. Now you're full screen. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, part of the challenge is, breaking down these walls and these prejudices. How do you feel that in the college setting it really shows itself?
Well, college is kind of like when you come into your own.
Yeah.
Like I always say, I grew up in Los Angeles, but I grew up in Washington, D.C. too, because Washington, D.C. is where I went to college. And, during your academic career in a university setting, like that's when you kind of discern like the stuff that you're going to hold on to from your parents, and you kind of, define your own identity. And so that's why I think that doing this work is so important on college campuses, because, that's when you sort of grow out of the things that you've just been told and taught over and over again, and you really get to go on a journey of self-discovery and figure it out for yourself.
Right.
And, a lot of what I've observed on many of the college campuses is that a lot of the bigotry and, racially or even sexually insensitive attitudes are things that, people did. These are opinions and viewpoints that they didn't even develop on their own. This is like from their parents or their grandparents, or just from growing up in a conservative neighborhood, or, there are a number of, different things. And, part of the reason that we go away to college is so that we can learn more about the world and learn more about ourselves, and gain a deeper perspective. And I've found that when you know better, you do better. And so that's why I think the college campus is the perfect setting for doing this work, and really working with young people, because you're playing a role in helping to mold and shape, and sometimes remold and reshape young minds, and play a role in how they view the world, how they view diversity, how they view inclusion. And the reality is we're not going to agree on everything, but there's a way to disagree without being combative or disagreeable. And, that's even something that I've had to learn and evolve in, because I'm very passionate, and, I've had to learn how to still stand firm in my beliefs without, cursing people out.
Yeah, because you have a style, I feel like you have a style to how you choose to express your beliefs, and it's sort of unapologetic, and it's your thing. But I'm sure that even people who are out there talking about the same causes as you may have a different style, so it's
Absolutely.
sort of about kind of listening to everyone's voice, I imagine.
Exactly. And you're right, because it's like we can't evolve, we can't learn from each other if we're attacking each other.
Right.
And so that's, and then there's a flip side to that, because it's like we can't minimize, we can't minimize the impact of oppression. We can't minimize the impact of hateful rhetoric and things like that, because I think there's a fine line, and we can't, on one end we should be able to disagree with one another, but if our disagreement is rooted in your support of ideals that perpetuate my oppression, you are gorgeous. Yes. Oh my God. Sorry, beautiful black man alert. I'm in Harlem.
Yes, you're Skyping in from New York City. You're in the middle of a rehearsal, and getting distracted by the eye candy. I can see how that could be a problem.
Let me a second. Let me give this gorgeous man my phone number.
Oh. Okay. Well, I guess we're taking a quick break. Well, I'll just plug your performance. We have some more stuff to talk about, but Frenchie's going to be performing this Friday night at the Village in Providence. The show starts at 8 o'clock, 8 until 2 a.m.
I'm back, guys. I'm sorry.
Thanks. That's, hey, you've got to do what you got to do.
Fish gotta swim.
That might be a Go Local Live first.
Okay. Sorry,
So,
it was so much chocolate. Y'all missed it. I'm sorry.
You did. We should have flipped the phone around so at least we could have seen a little.
I should have did. You guys, I'm talking Idris on level 100. Y'all.
First of all, anyone who's watching this right now, go on Facebook right now and follow Frenchie Davis, because if you want her antics like just on the daily, you have to be following her on social media so you can really get an idea of her personality, because it's amazing. I wanted to talk.
You're amazing. Do they know that we were in RIT together?
I'm not sure.
That's how we know each other.
I know.
You
Frenchie.
have to talk about that part.
Okay, I'll talk about that part. So Frenchie and I met. Oh my gosh, 10 years ago. We were both in the Broadway production of Rent. And you were beautiful Seasons of Love soloist. You understudied Joanne. I was playing Maureen. And that's our story.
Yes. And you were a beautiful Maureen. You were hilarious.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes. And just such a beautiful spirit. You and your husband. And it's so wonderful to just be back in touch with you, and I'm so excited to see you.
I know. We're going to hang out. We're going to hang out when you get here. We're going to show you around Providence all the things that have changed. I've plugged your performance this Friday night. I wanted to talk really quickly, though, about the project you just finished. It's an off-Broadway show. But I just thought it was interesting. The show already did close, but I thought it was interesting because it sort of intersects, you know, you as a performer and you as an activist, because the show is called The View Upstairs, and it's about an attack on a gay club in New Orleans in the 70s. And,
the Upstairs Lounge, which was a gay-owned nightclub in New Orleans in the 70s. And Gay Pride Weekend 1973, someone set it on fire, like 40 people died. And up until Orlando, it was the biggest massacre in LGBT history. And so many people didn't even know about this story because it was so dangerous to be out, you know, in the South and in the 70s, that the few people who survived, they never wanted to talk about it. You know, the families of the victims had difficulty planning funerals because churches were turning them away. I mean, it was really horrible. And, you know, I did a lot of research on the fire and a lot of research on the LGBT community of that area. And like, I read about a guy who was from Biloxi, Mississippi, and he used to drive all the way to New Orleans just to go to the Upstairs Lounge because it was the only place that our community had in the South. It was the only place that people had to go to where they felt safe and free to be themselves.